everything. There's no need to even ask for an official name. I'm for whatever. It's all peaceful and not harming the lives of the Taiwanese people and their nation. In this world, everything is mostly just temporary and illusion. Anyway, as long as people live in peace and can take care of themselves without any harm, any shortage, any need of any kind, then that nation is very blessed already. And Taiwan is respected and loved in many, many countries in the world. When I travel everywhere, I heard that. And sometimes you can see it on the news, that Taiwan has very friendly vegan cities. Taiwan was very good at fighting the pandemic before, for example.
That's right. That's right.
Taiwan has a good foreign reserve, and Taiwan has a good living standard. And Taiwan has a very high level of freedom, high level of democracy. All this is very important. And Taiwan having peace is very important. Who cares if people say your country is officially recognized or not? Many countries are officially recognized, but are not in peace. And they have a lot of trouble, a lot of economic problems, life standard problems, war, and all kinds of other disasters like famine, all kinds of things. Taiwan is very, very blessed already.
Right.
So there is no need for anyone to barge in just to be more famous and get more applause in all of this empty fame and gain. That's what I think. I think Taiwan has been having very good blessings from heaven. And the Taiwanese people enjoy many benefits. And the government takes care of all the poor. That's what I know. And there's no suppression of religious freedom of any kind. You can believe anything you want. Well, of course, as long as it doesn't harm the public.
Yes.
But there's nothing like that happening in Taiwan. There are no people who are worshipping Satan openly like in some other countries I know. People just choose wisely. So that should be very good. We should be contented with what we have and not always asking for more and more and more. Things will be given to us according to our deserving worth in time. I think Taiwan is one of the most lucky, happy countries in the world already. So I don't think anyone should jump in and cause trouble for these peace-loving and kind people of Taiwan. Nobody should encourage it of any kind. Nobody should directly be making trouble, disrupting peace in Taiwan, or anything for their own lowly agenda, or maybe evil intention.
Yes, Master.
That's what I think. And in a free world, I think what I want to think. You know, Taiwan has even improved and improved and improved in all aspects ever since I went to Taiwan. I have seen that myself. For example, even when I first went to America, I wanted to take one of the Taiwanese so-called disciples with me. Oh, so difficult, and could not even. And now the Taiwanese can have the visa easily anywhere, even in Europe. Imagine that. 6 months visa for Europe. I think the American citizens have only 3 months.
Yes.
So Taiwan earns respect everywhere and is welcome everywhere. And we should be happy with that. Yeah?
Right. Yes, Master.
Every country has some problems of a different nature.
Yes.
And Taiwan might think that China is giving the nation problems. But every other country has also problems. Even more than that, or maybe less, or just a different nature.
Yes.
There's no country in the world that has no problem. Absolutely.
Right. That's right.
And for such a small nation, it is very, very blessed already, the way it is right now.
Yes.
So it's better just to keep the peace with all the neighbors as much as possible. Peace is very important for all citizens, because without peace, they cannot live. They cannot prosper. They cannot improve anything.
Yes.
And if war comes, then most things will be destroyed. Many people will die. Citizens will flee the country. So what good is that for anyone anyway, for the winner or the loser?
Right.
Master, will Taiwan be invaded by China?
If China has a more strong-handed treatment of Taiwan or even invade Taiwan for any reason, then they would just have a bad name, like a bully brother or bloodthirsty invasion monger. What good is that in the world and the history of humankind?
Yes,
Master.
Besides, they believe in Buddhism, and they know if they make war and kill people, hell is waiting for them. So I think they will not want to make any war. I don't think China would want to make more hardship for Taiwan. Should not, in my opinion. And heaven also prefers that way. It's good for China if China makes peace with everyone around and shows the generous, kind-hearted, and peace-loving nature of the Chinese people. Chinese people love peace, and all Taiwanese people also love peace. Every citizen in the world loves peace.
Yes.
So any leader who wants to lead long or be supported by their own citizens should love peace, show peace, and do any kind of possible things to keep peace for their own sake and their own citizens' wellness.
Master, why does Taiwan or Formosa lean towards the U.S.?
It is fair to say that Taiwan was pushed toward the West, toward America by China. Because, let's face it, they don't seem to have any official allies. And there are not even official embassies in Taiwan from any country.
Yeah.
They just have a representative of this and that country. And often they are threatened by China, use China, for anything that they do. They just want to prove that they are grown up and they want to be independent, want to be like every other country, just like that. The Taiwanese are threatened all the time. It's like they cannot move. They feel suffocated, lonely, and scared, frightened. So, of course, if anyone seems to have the power to protect them or to be their friend willingly, they'll be glad to lean on that friend.
Yes.
It's human nature. I could cry again thinking about this situation of Taiwan. If China, big China, switched its position, if China was Taiwan, what would China do?
Yes,
Master.
Understand.
You just have to think of the opposite party, and then you know how they feel, and then you know how to react.
Understand, Master.
If China was protective towards Taiwan and not oppressive by helping them to stand up within the world, with dignity, with security, safety, peace, then they would never need to go with America or anyone. Don't you think?
That's right, Master. If they were strong and they had support from their big brother or big sister, China, then they wouldn't need help from everyone, but they would be a part of the world with China.
Yeah, with China as a friend, as a brother.
Yeah.
Nowadays, many countries that used to belong to such and such colony or confederation or commonwealth, they are going out.
Yes.
And the old colonizer just let them go out. I don't remember all of them, but recently Iceland used to belong to Denmark, and they let them be independent.
Yes.
No big deal. And nowadays, several countries that used to belong to the Commonwealth of England express their desire to be independent. And Prince William and Princess Kate also seem to support them.
Yes.
Master.
And they brought the message back. And then Prince Charles also doesn't seem to oppose that.
Yes, Master.
Yes,
And India, for example, used to be under colonization and also became independent. Yeah, no hard feelings, nothing.
Yes.
It used to be under the colonial rule by the British.
Yes.
And they wanted independence, and so they got it.
Yes.
And they did not even fight too much. You know, they did not use any weapons under Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes, Master.
Also, for example, Singapore used to be with Malaysia. Later, they just separated themselves, and both are still friends. There's no problem. They come in and out with each other, you know, through the border. No big deal, nothing. No threatening, no frightening, no scary admonition, nothing.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
This is the way of the gentleman.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
That will gain respect from all over the world.
Yes,
Yes.
Like Singapore became strong and healthy and better than when together. And Malaysia is also the same.
Yes.
They also have respect from all over the world. No hard feelings, nothing.
They both benefit.
Yeah, both benefit. Sometimes your family member, if they're grown up, they want to be different. Then, as long as they harm nobody, then why not, eh?
Yes,
Master.
That's what I think.
For example, if Hong Kong was able to be independent from China, that would also have been beneficial for both. But because China took over Hong Kong now, it's not as good for Hong Kong. So if China tries to do this with Taiwan, it's not good as well.
Yeah, the world gets darker.
Yes,
Yes.
It feels that way, darker and dimmer, you know? Not so happily,
Yes,
Yes.
not prosperous, and not simple and peaceful, not easy-go-lucky.
Yes,
Master.
我的